Why would you want to buy an Alfa Romeo? It's the sort of question that a lot of people would say, particularly the pub bore, who will say things like, you know, they're unreliable, they fall to pieces with rust, and they have electrical problems, and they're crap Italian cars. And these are usually people that have never driven one or sat in one or owned one and don't really know what they're talking about. So, and you get a lot of that. You get a lot of that with cars like Lotuses and Alfas, anything that's a little bit difficult to own, you know, it's not always true. It's more about the fact that because the cars tend to be inexpensive, they tend not to get maintained as well as they might be. Quite often they're bought by people who want to be flash on the cheap. Particularly, that used to be the case with Lotuses, but Lotuses these days are now being bought by people who really, you know, maintain them properly, and their values are increasing commensurately with the kind of love that has been foisted upon the cars. And when you get an Alfa, particularly an old one, they tend to be really valuable. So, you know, what's the trick then? Maybe you should buy one before they get valuable and find out for yourself what they're like really. So what is it then that Alfa Romeo owners know that makes them like their cars so much? What is it that Alfa Romeo owners know that people who don't drive Alfa Romeos don't know? Well, they know that they're not as bad as the stories you hear. Yeah, you know, they're a car, and when they're getting older, they're going to go wrong. Some of them rust more than others, the GCVs. They don't seem to rust badly at all. But it's the fact that they're quite well engineered. You can work on them yourself, especially the older ones. The parts aren't terribly expensive. There's lots and lots of specialists out there and lots of knowledge out there. So if you get stuck, you just get on the internet and you can find out what you need to know. The other thing is that Italian cars generally, but Alfa Romeos in particular, have this way of bringing all the elements together that makes them fun to drive, enjoyable. And you just don't really get that with a car that's built in Japan. And maybe some BMWs. I used to think BMWs were good, but not anymore. I think that they go wrong a lot and they cost a fortune to fix, and they're needlessly complicated. So I'm not a BMW man these days, but I do like Alfas, as you might have guessed. So this is one I'm doing up. It cost me not much money. It's cost me, you know, a few bob to sort it out because it needed quite a lot doing to it. But I don't mind that because I'm an enthusiast owner, and I've been just chipping away at all the little problems one by one, and very soon this will be quite a nice car and I'll enjoy driving it. So anyway, if you fancy one, you know, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get an Alfa Romeo. Do your research first, find out which model would suit you best. I do promise you that if you buy one that's been looked after, you will enjoy driving it more than anything else, and it won't cost you a fortune. And as I say about Alfa Romeos, they all go up in value eventually. I would leave alone the very old cars, the 105 series and previous cars. Leave those alone because, you know, they're a lot of money these days. They used not to be, but they are now. They cost a lot to buy, and you know, they were quite rust prone. Italian cars did used to be rust prone because they were built for warm climates, but that isn't true today. So, you know, if you want to have a go, get on eBay and have a look and see what you can find. Good luck.